This was our personal pilgrimage to the World War II battlefields of Normandy. Our first stop was in Weestrum, the Grand Bunker Museum.
This is the German Bunker Museum in Weestrum. We're not going in, but the bunker is this huge building.
Then our guide took us to Sword Beach, one of the British D-Day landing zones. Today, visitors to Sword Beach can see a number of monuments. One of the most notable is the Free French Monument, which honors the French soldiers who fought alongside the British forces in the Normandy campaign. In addition to the monument, visitors can also see statues of Lieutenant Colonel Kiefer and Lieutenant Colonel Lovett, two officers who led their troops onto the beach on D-Day. Sword Beach was the site of intense fighting on D-Day, June 6, 1944, as British forces stormed ashore to secure a foothold on the continent. Finally, we saw the statue of Bill Millen, a Scottish soldier who famously played the bagpipes as his unit advanced inland. Millen's courage and determination in the face of danger have made him a symbol of the Allied effort in Normandy, and his memory lives on at Sword Beach and throughout the world. Pegasus Bridge, the bridge over the Orne River, was the target of a daring assault by British airborne troops in the early hours of D-Day. As we walked across the bridge, it was hard to imagine the tension and fear that the soldiers must have felt as they approached under the cover of darkness.
You want to run across the bridge?
The bridge was small, but its significance was immense. It was here that the soldiers began their fight to liberate Europe. I got the chance to record a time-lapse video of the bridge being lowered. The nearby museum has an example of the horse gliders that were used in the assault of the bridge. The original bridge is preserved there too. Juno Beach played a significant role in D-Day. Canadian forces landed on Juno Beach as part of the Allied invasion. The beach has since become a place of remembrance and reflection, especially to Canadians. There are apartment buildings nearby, and I couldn't help noticing how similar their architecture was to World War II bunkers. The Gold Beach Observation Tower is a tall structure that stands on the site of a former German bunker. After the war, the bunker was converted into an observation tower, which now offers panoramic views of the surrounding area. The Royal Engineers Monument, located nearby, is a sculpture that commemorates the work of the Royal Engineers during the Normandy campaign. Nearby is a preserved piece of the famous Mulberry Harbor structures. There are also examples of the obstacles which were placed on the beach to hinder landings. Automanche is a small town which faces Gold Beach. Arromanches was chosen as the location for one of the mulberry harbors because it had a natural bay that provided shelter from rough seas. The mulberry harbor at Arromanches was a remarkable feat of engineering. Today, visitors can still see the remains of floating caissons from the mulberry harbor. And lunch at Les Mulberries. Long-sur-Mer Battery was a key defensive position for the German military during World War II. The battery was equipped with 4 150mm guns, which were capable of firing shells up to 22 miles away. The guns at Long-sur-Mer caused significant damage to the Allied forces. However, the battery was eventually silenced by a direct hit from a British battleship. Today, visitors can explore the ruins of the Long-sur-Mer Battery. Standing on the sandy shores of Omaha Beach, the peaceful vistas contrast sharply with the memories of one of the most significant battles of June 6, 1944. Here, Allied forces faced a barrage of German gunfire and artillery. The peaceful scene is a stark contrast to the chaos and violence that filled the air back then. A short trip down the beach took us to the Normandy American Cemetery. A somber and reflective place overlooking Omaha Beach. As you approach the site, it is surrounded by peaceful fields and the stunning views of the English Channel. Inside, you are struck by the rows upon rows of white marble headstones, marking the final resting place of American soldiers who lost their life on D-Day. Walking through the cemetery, you can't help but feel a sense of reverence and gratitude for the men and women who gave their lives in service of their country. Pointe du Hoc is a breathtaking cliff on the Normandy coast that served as a critical vantage point during World War II. On D-Day, American soldiers scaled the steep cliffs to take out German artillery and secure the area for the Allied invasion of Normandy. Today, the Pointe du Hoc Memorial Site serves as a solemn tribute to the bravery and sacrifice of those who fought and died there. Visitors can explore the rugged terrain, view the remaining craters from the bombing, and see the artillery pieces that were seized by the American troops. The site stands as a testament to the sacrifices made by so many. The Mazy Battery was a German World War II coastal defense complex located near the village of Grand Camp Mazy. The battery was a key strategic point in the Germans' Atlantic Wall defenses. The Mazy Battery was discovered by an amateur historian, Gary Stern, in 2003, and it was one of the largest and best preserved German batteries in Normandy. Dead Man's Corner Museum is a small museum that is dedicated to the events surrounding D-Day. The museum is named after a sharp bend in the road nearby that was the site of a battle between American paratroopers and German soldiers during the invasion. The museum's collection includes a variety of artifacts from the war, including uniforms, weapons, and equipment. Visitors to Dead Man's Corner can also explore the reconstructed paratroopers barracks and field hospital. Nearby is the D-Day Experience, a multimedia presentation of a paratrooper mission into France on D-Day. After a short mission briefing, you board the fuselage of a vintage C-47 and fly a short, simulated journey from England to Normandy. There are memorials all over Normandy. The C-47 Memorial at Picaville is a monument dedicated to the pilots and crew members of the American C-47 transport planes who participated in the D-Day landings on June 6, 1944. Nearby is the Richard Winters Leadership Memorial. As the commander of Easy Company's Band of Brothers during World War II, Winters exemplified extraordinary leadership, bravery, and selflessness. It serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of leadership, bravery, and selflessness in times of conflict. Richard Winters' statue is leading the way from Utah Beach, the last invasion site we visited. As you approach the beach, you'll first notice the Navy Monument built in 2007. It is a tribute to the sailors who landed on Utah Beach on June 6, 1944. Nearby is the Andrew Higgins Memorial, dedicated to the American boat builder who designed and built the famous Higgins boats. These boats were essential to the success of the D-Day invasion, as they allowed troops to land on the beaches quickly and efficiently. Part of the memorial is a representation of a Higgins boat with soldiers disembarking. Nowadays, you can stop to eat at a brasserie whose building was repurposed from a bunker commandeered from the Germans as a beach command post. In 1944, German General Erwin Rommel used the Château de Berleville as his headquarters during the German defense of Normandy against the Allied invasion. One of the benefits of a dedicated guide is being able to search out and visit obscure places. This chateau is now used by the Normandy Institute, and it now serves as a beautiful setting for research, education, and cultural exchange. Historic reminders of World War II are everywhere in Normandy. As are war cemeteries. This was a British cemetery. Although not as easily located, there are German cemeteries as well. Can you guess whose ancestors came from this town? But war has been a sad part of the Normandy area for many centuries. Time for our TGV train trip to Germany.